So much to talk about with this one, Ruffy and the Riverside. So let's get going. Ruffy and the Riverside is a testament to the creative force behind early 3D platformers. It borrows heavily from games like Mario, like Conker, like Banjo-Kazooie, but it layers on top of that its own unique gameplay mechanic. It's a copy and paste ability, but you're copying textures within the world. And you're not just copying them, you're borrowing their attributes as well. There's a lot to go over when it comes to this game, and I want to try and talk about the things that I found to be so enjoyable in my few hours spent with the game so far. So the write-up for this game is Ruffy and the Riverside is a magical adventure about Ruffy and the magic swap. With a swap, you can copy and paste textures in the game world to transform it in many ways, solve puzzles, beat bosses, help your friends, or just make it a better place. Experience this all hand-drawn adventure and defeat the evil villain, Growl. So, when I first heard about this game, obviously 3D platformer, it got my ears buzzing because it's my favorite genre, and I love the classic platformers of the past. But the more I dug into this game, the information, I found out that there was this unique mechanic placed on top of everything else. Sure, you're going to notice gameplay from the past. Sure, you'll notice some elements copied from Mario, some elements copied from Banjo, and you might think that, well, it's not very original, but it takes that classic aesthetic, it takes that classic gameplay that's already been perfected, and it does what other modern 3D platformers haven't done. It actually introduces a brand new gameplay mechanic on top of all of that borrowing from the past, which make this game feel so fresh, so unique, and just, I mean, when I'm playing it, I'm thinking to myself, how is this mechanic not something that's been done before? And sure, I've seen things like this tossed around. I've played games that were kind of like this, but it works so well here because they implemented it into the entire world. So, classic 3D platforming, of course, it's a collectathon. You're gonna love jumping around. You're gonna love the platforming and the characters, and the story is cute and whimsical. But when you start to actually use the mechanic in the game, it is just such a revelation. I'm walking around, I'm trying to get from point A to point B, and literally anything in this world, any texture that you see. So for instance, let's say you have to cross a large body of water and you can't do it. Well, you'll see out in the water, there are stone pillars just standing there. So you have a choice. You can copy the texture from the ground and turn the entire body of water into something that you can walk across, or you can jump and glide over to the little islands that are out there in the water and then copy the wood from a tree, let's say, and turn those stone pillars into wood, and then all of a sudden they'll just start floating in the water and you create your own platforms to get to that point that you have to get to. So there's a mix and a match in the gameplay that keeps it incredibly fresh. There's countless ways to tackle the traversal puzzles, and I think that is where this copy and paste texture ability mechanic comes in so flawlessly. And that's the real trick for me, because if you've been playing games a really long time, you've probably played almost every genre. So It's hard to find things that are new and exciting, even big games like Astrobot that come out, and I really liked that game, but there really wasn't anything innovative about it. It copied a lot from past platformers, and it was extremely pretty, and it utilized the DualSense controller, and that was great. But in terms of actual gameplay mechanics being different in a 3D platformer, I definitely didn't get that from playing Astrobot, and that's not a knock against Astrobot or any modern 3D platformer. It's just that if you've been playing games a long time, it's hard to find things that feel original. And when you play this game right off the bat, like I said, you're going to notice some things from past Mario games. You'll notice some things from Banjo-Kazooie, from Conker. The world is structured in a way that those games were, so it'll feel familiar. But as soon as you realize that every single texture in the game can be copied and pasted onto other textures to create different attributes, different ways to get from point A to point B, actually creating your own environment to platform in, it is very unique, very refreshing, and very exciting if you're a fan of this genre. Something else that I want to touch on, and it's a very me problem. Again, somebody who's been around a long time and playing games a long time, this push for these huge AAA games that look incredible, motion capture, photorealistic graphics, all of that stuff just leaves me feeling flat. Because in the creativity department, the fun department, I'm always left lacking. And again, I'm not saying that you have to agree with me here, but I just would much rather play games like this and enjoy handcrafted worlds that start and end with the word fun in them. And by the way, speaking of handcrafted, this is all art drawn by the developers. So there is so much talent and creativity on display here, and my only hope is that in this age where everyone jumps up and down about realistic looking screenshots before they even play a game, they give a game like this a chance, because this is truly innovation in the gameplay department for people playing the video game, having fun. And when you look at the world when it opens up here, there's so much to see, so much to do, and there's so many possibilities when you start to play around with the copy and paste ability. So Ruffy and the Riverside is probably one of, if not the best modern 3D platformer right now in terms of innovation in the gameplay department. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a game that if you're a gamer for any length of time, you just have to check this out and experience it. And once you start to play around with the mechanics and the world, fun is the key factor here. You're gonna love it if you played modern 3D platformers, if you played older 3D platformers. For me, this is a breath of fresh air. This is running on the Switch 2. It's available on the PS5. I think it's available everywhere, so play it. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about it. If you've been playing 3D platformers for a long time like I have, talk to me about the influences that you notice from those old games. Talk to me about the new gameplay mechanic, copy and paste, and I'll see you in another video.